Hello, welcome. DJ Vic Vapor with you, Ableton Live Advanced Concepts. Continuing on with our tutorials in this category, I want to take a look at fading to reverb or fading to verb, that technique that's used to kind of create sort of a three-dimensional space that the sound is moving away from you as it gets quieter. So let's take a look at how that's achieved. So I've got a couple little loops playing here. Nothing too fancy, nothing too special. So what we want to do is create a reverb channel, send reverb channel. So there's A, and we want to put a reverb on there. Go ahead and crank that guy all the way up on the dry wet. And the technique that we're going to use here refers to pre and post. So we want to make sure pre is selected for A, which would be this one right here, pre for A. Now, I've recorded these two loops over here on the arrangement side, so let's come over here, activate that, and then we'll take a look at the Rhodes piano. We'll just give it a little volume fade right there, and then on channel 2 on our drums, we will do the same. Let's give it a little volume fade here on our drums. So everybody's fading out nice and smooth. So on the reverb, now that we have it on pre, it's going to continue to get a signal. On the master, I want to go ahead and make sure we're also fading out on our master. So let me just create that for us here. Right near the, oh, wrong guy. Right near the end here, we will have a nice fade there. And I better make sure I've got volume. I don't. Let me go back and get rid of this because we didn't want that. Delete what I wanted. Got to pay attention to the details here is volume. All right, so there, and we'll fade here. Just give it a nice, somewhere in there should work. So now what you're going to hear is that sense of space. It's the volume of the tracks and the volume from the master. Everything's going to fade, but that reverb is going to make it feel like we're just walking away from the sound or something in that area. It should feel a little bit more dimensional as opposed to just a standard everything fading. So let's take a listen, see what we've got. You know what? Totally made the easiest mistake possible. I've got to make sure that we're giving it some reverb. So we've got to make sure our sends are actually up for this to work. I'll give it a little bit more on the piano than I do on the drums. Somewhere in there should sound about right. So let's come back here and now let's take a listen to what we've got. So it's kind of there. I think I need to get a little bit more reverb going on to give it our, I'm going to crank up the reverb on the piano and just probably exaggerate it on the drums so that you can hear it a little bit better. And we'll try it one more time, but you start to feel that sense of space like you're walking away from the sound. So there you have it. It's a fade to verb or fade to reverb technique. It's a little exaggerated to get the point across, but hopefully with a good set of headphones or studio speakers, however you're listening to the video, you're able to distinguish kind of the concept there and that sense of space as it fades out. So feel free to use that technique in your live or studio production work. Thanks as always for tuning in, push and play, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.